tonight, the season's early snow has come as a shock to the system for many of us. But for some, it's costing big bucks.
Soybean and corn farmers are watching their profits melt with their snow-covered crops still awaiting harvest.
News 8's Leon Hendricks shows us why it's hitting them especially hard this year.
Good evening. It was already a rough start for farmers. They had to plant their crops later than usual because of the wet spring. Well, now come harvest time and early snow. Yet another punch.
It is indeed an odd year on Droz Farm in Allegan County. Most of his corn is still out there waiting for harvest.
This year's been brutal.
John Droz is a corn and soybean farmer. Two of the crops hit hard with this year's weather pattern. Wet weather pushed planting back, and now the early snowfall has put the squeeze on the harvest.
This year, all of the seasons have been pretty tough.
It could mean that some of the corn doesn't get harvested until spring, meaning some of it will be lost over the winter. Typically, in a tough growing year, farmers see prices go up to help offset things. But that hasn't happened this year.
We just haven't seen the price response that we should have.
Droz suspects the trade war and tariffs are part of the blame. His struggle isn't unique.
It's been unprecedented.
Mike Staten is a soybean educator with the Michigan State University Extension. He says a quarter of the state's soybeans are still out on the fields.
The odds of getting the crop out under good conditions are going to be difficult.
It's a much gloomier picture for soybeans as they won't survive the winter. And with both crops, all this could have implications for next year.
If we're in there harvesting under very wet conditions, we're going to create some harvest ruts, we're going to do some serious compaction, and that's going to carry over and affect the yields next year.
But as farmers must, it's forward march to the next season. It could hardly be worse than this year.
You kind of say, man, I'll be glad when this year's over, and then you look forward to hopefully getting started on next year and it being better.
Near Allegan, Leon Hendricks, News 8.